Okay, real confession, immediate punchline. I returned a wedding-related gift and then somehow started a group chat apocalypse. Yep, I brought a receipt to a social war. I'm Liv, your chronically online host, and every day we talk about life, relationships, internet chaos, bad decisions, awkward moments, and the stuff that spirals faster than it should. Picture the scene. A friend's wedding shower. Picture the vibes. Mood boards, tiny desserts, someone crying over a floral centerpiece because it matched a Pinterest board. My friend, call her Maya, radiates that I planned my own personality energy. I was there as bridesmaid adjacent. Snacks, sarcasm, and a questionable toast. At the shower, a guest handed me a little congrats present. It wasn't for me, technically. More like a friendly topping on my living at someone else's chaos cake. Inside the box, a ceramic whatever. A vase? A modern sculpture? It looked like a ceramic thing that lost a fight with a paint roller. I have a soft spot for ugly but sentimental objects. I will make it work. But this thing, it vibrated on a frequency my apartment does not speak. So the next morning, I did something small and practical that felt momentous. I grabbed the receipt and went back to the store. Micro scene. I get home with the box. I hide the receipt in my pocket like contraband. I put the vase-ish object by the sink so my plants can judge it. I sit on the couch and rehearse what a normal adult would say at the returns counter. I marched into the store like I was doing a civic duty. Smile. Wrong fit, wrong vibes. That was my line. Clerk gives me store credit. Easy. No moral quandary. I even texted Maya. Hey, returned that vase thing? Got a card for you instead. Hope that's okay. She sent a heart emoji. Smooth. Problem solved.
Then 2 hours later, my phone exploded. Not from Maya, from her cousin, from Aunt Jenkins, from someone who used to babysit Maya's succulents. The message chain started with a calm, wait, what? Return the gift? And then did what group chats do best, spiral.
Let me give you a cleaned up taste of the thread. Fictionalized, obviously, for legal and dignity reasons. First, Liv returned Aunt June's gift. Not sure why. Second, returned? Like to the store? Did you say thank you? Third, isn't returning a gift rude? You could feel the temperature rising through the little blue message bubbles. Then receipts appeared, literally. Someone screenshotted my grabbed you a card text and dropped it into the chat with the caption, thoughtful or optics, as if my private attempt at being kind needed a vote. It was like watching my social life become a craft project for passive aggression. Maya finally chimed in and said something reasonable. I appreciate you thinking of me, Liv, but can we not make returning gifts the hill we all die on in this chat? Which is fair, but instead of ending there, the conversation slid into etiquette lectures. You only return if it's damaged. And then into full-on moralizing, like we needed a code of conduct for gratitude. Here's my unpopular but true line. Gifts have morphed into social currency more than acts of kindness. People read the action of returning as a character judgment instead of a practical choice. That line, gifts as social scoreboard, is going to come back later, so tuck it in your pocket like a receipt. I'll be honest, my messaging was clumsy. I could have called Maya. A 2-minute voice call would have been human and private. But I did a text and then left the room, which in group cat culture is the equivalent of leaving a flag outside your tent. And then the chats birthed sub-chats, receipts about receipts, photos of the store paperwork with the caption, proof. Somebody posted a comment from a cousin. Who returns gifts? Ugh. It turned into this amplified choir of moral outrage where the original context, someone trying to avoid ugly decor, got lost in echo. My favorite tiny human detail. After all the drama, I kept one stupid thing. Not the vase, not the screenshots, a tiny ribbon from the bow. I tucked it into a shoebox and labeled it Bridal Chaos. Why? Because I like physical receipts of ridiculousness. Also, I am dramatic.
If I had a do-over, step 1, call before returning. Step 2, be explicit about intentions. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but this isn't right for me. Step 3, resist the urge to post a defensive screen cap in a group chat like a medieval herald. And since I promised you a hot take earlier, here it is, short and repeatable. Gifts should not be a moral scoreboard. If you return something privately and replace it with a real gesture, a heartfelt card, a small donation, a phone call, then you haven't failed at humanity. Gratitude doesn't require martyrdom.
That idea, not a moral scoreboard, is my verbal motif for the episode. I come back to it because when the dust settled, Maya and I laughed about it months later over cheap pizza. She pointed at my shoebox ribbon and said, "You kept that, didn't you?" I shrugged. We both laughed. So the real takeaway, small decisions can snowball, and sometimes our instincts for privacy or practicality collide with other people's need to perform gratitude. That friction is human. Be kinder than you need to be, sure, but also give people the space to make small, messy choices without turning them into public trials.
If you've ever wanted to hit return on social pressure instead of a present, you are not alone. Seriously, tell me your story. What did you return? Who freaked out? Did you keep a ridiculous souvenir, like a ribbon or a receipt? Leave a review with your return to sender saga. I'll pick the funniest and most chaotic anonymous ones to read on a future episode. If today's episode made you laugh or made you feel slightly less terrible about a past small betrayal to a ceramic object, then my job here is officially done. Stay chaotic, be kind when you can, and maybe call your friend before you return their vase. This escalated quickly. Bye for now.